With the dates of the general elections being announced by the Election Commission of India recently, we are seeing that the different political parties are all gearing up and preparing for the upcoming elections. But the question remains, how well do we know these different political parties in the state? Well, welcome viewers. This is your host Roger K. Sangma. And in the rundown to the election, we will talk to different political parties and in an attempt to try to get to know them better. Joining us today is the NPP's spokesperson, Dr. Amprin Lingdo, who is also a former legislator of East Shillong. She recently joined the party and she's a prominent leader of the party. Ma'am, thank you for joining us today. Ma'am, right out of the bat, this is one question. The first question is something that many political parties don't really talk about. So right out of the bat, what is your party's ideology?
The ideology of the National People's Party is number one. We are a secular party. Number two, we are a party that is a cadre-based party which believes in the empowerment of grassroots participation in politics. Number three, we are a party that has a national presence, yet originates in the state of Meghalaya. The theme or the slogan of the NPP for these elections is very clear: stronger together, one Meghalaya. We also believe that in the state of Meghalaya, there should be justice for all. We also believe that women empowerment is an important agenda for us. We also believe that very importantly, issues of health, issues of education, issues of communications and connectivity should be top priority, and there will be a target to ensure that we achieve better statuses, not only nationally, but also be felt and be present amidst the people in the next coming 5 years.
Right. Ma'am, also, this is one question that, every citizen wants to know. So what is your party prospects in the upcoming elections?
We shall be hopeful. We have a pan-Meghalaya presence, which is an advantage. It is an advantage to us as compared to other parties. We are confident that we will have better support this time as compared to 2018. We have good candidates, winnable candidates, candidates who are all hardworking. And we feel that because of this presence of candidatures which seem to be winnable, we are confidently saying that the NPP should do better in the 2023 results.
Ma'am, also, the NPP has already, announced the candidate list, and you already have announced 58 candidates for 58 constituencies. So if you can tell us briefly about these candidates that you have fielded for the upcoming elections.
The one good thing about the NPP is that it's the only party, so it seems, who has large number of women candidates. 6 very winnable women candidates. That's the USP at the moment. Number 2, you have a range of candidates representing different fields across all professions. You have experienced politicians who have given several years of dedicated service in the interest of the state and people. We have doctorates, PhDs, postgraduates, graduates on a basic average. There are more of such individuals than others in the party. Number 3, we have experts from various fields. We have academicians, we have hardcore politicians, we have bureaucratic people from the bureaucracy who have also joined the party. We also have social workers. We have a vibrant list of 58.
Ma'am, talking about the coming elections. Elections are, many people say that elections are fought on beliefs, ideologies, and issues concerning the people and the state, your agendas. So, what will be the issues that you're going to highlight in the upcoming your manifesto, which you haven't released as yet? But what will be the key highlights in your manifesto? If you can just tell us briefly.
It's an A to Z manifesto, a manifesto that is not just promising, but especially a manifesto that will be workable with targets. We have not made any tall promises of sending XY amounts of money to any XY amount of individuals in the state, but we have said that we have good schemes. Focus Plus, we have, yes, Meghalaya, Prime Meghalaya, so many such schemes which immediately affect the well-being and the management and the growth of all sectors of people. We have specific targets for the youth, specific targets for women, specific targets for students. There is a big attention being put on mental health that will also cover combating of substance abuse, availability of substance abuse. We are also looking at safety and wellness of the citizens of the state of Meghalaya at, in a large perspective. All of these will be indicated at length in detail with specific project names and targets. So this is now being prepared. The manifesto also will give a people an entire view of the various sectors of life and how we need to work in all of those sectors.
Now, let's talk about the roadmap. For the party, how do you see yourselves, say, in 5 years from now, or maybe a decade from now? How do you see your party in these upcoming years?
NPP started many years back, about 3 decades back, changed its name about 12 years back. If you look at the growth of the NPP and its presence in all parts of the state, you would agree with me when you say that the NPP is growing steadily. It may have been a very difficult journey, but it looks like a very steady and a very stable existence and coverage in the state of Meghalaya. That is good. This is a roadmap which has not just happened overnight, but it has happened from what I can see from very hard work. A conscientious effort put in by the party national president, the party national vice president, the state president, the treasurers. Everybody has pitched in to ensure that from a small number of two or one, 2.5 decades ago, to a number of 21, 27, 26 in the last 5 years, and likely to grow. Whenever you see these numbers in the assembly growing, it is indicative of public support. You multiply every candidate or every MLA into the total number of voters of that constituency, you automatically see the vote share that the NPP is steadily increasing in over the last 5 years.
Ma'am, with the entry of national parties and a few regional parties in the political arena for the upcoming elections, who do you think is your biggest competition? When it comes to elections 2023.
In the Khasi Jaintia Ribhoi region, we are likely to be going neck to neck with the UDP, which is again a regional party, which is concentrated only on a certain pocket in the state. And if you're looking at the Garo Hills region, I would likely say there may be some tussle with the BJP and the TMC, which likely will also be an eliminating factors for the two parties. So there in the Garo Hills, I think that is likely the picture.
Right. Ma'am, even before the elections were announced, your party president, national president, Shri Conrad K. Sama had already said that we will not go into the elections with any pre-poll alliance as such. But when it comes to post-poll alliance, are you open to the post-poll alliance? Is what I'm asking.
The NPP has a very simple approach to this probable emerging political scenario post 2023. One would be people will give us a clear mandate. That would be the best situation. Now, if the people of the state of Meghalaya do not give the NPP a clear mandate, you will again be faced with a hung house. Now, what happens in a hung house? The equations and the coalitions that can occur will be determined by the numbers of shortages of seats in the assembly or vis-a-vis parties and political partners that have worked with the NPP in the past. So one cannot predict what will happen. But sans an absolute majority, any combination is possible.
Ma'am, many people say that money and politics will play a very crucial role in this election, 2023 elections, which is just knocking at the door. So, what is your thought on that?
Money has always been the base of every activity in the community. So let's not isolate its political presence. I would only say this: with big parties coming in with huge funding capacities, it will pose a problem for smaller parties that are actually operating in the state of Meghalaya. Whether or not the NPP will follow suit to that pattern of functioning, my hunch is that we are not going to indulge as we see other parties indulging. Because I feel that at this point of time, money is not the end all of support for candidates. There are other factors that will determine support for candidates. In the state of Meghalaya particularly, it has always been the PR of the candidate, the working of candidates, the reach of candidates, the availability of candidates, the credibility of these candidates. I hope 2023 at least will include educational qualification in that mixed bag. Because we've seen that in the state of Meghalaya, educational qualification seems to be the least important. This time around, with reach of procedures of the assembly to all nooks and corners of the state, I hope the people realize that you would need to also put in qualification in that bag so that you have suitable MLAs debating your issues, fighting for your issues on the floor of the house, which is where maximum attention is drawn to constituencies during session. After session, it is difficult for us to expect much, because if you are in the opposition and you have an MLA that cannot back or cannot speak on your behalf, very high probability that your constituency will be in a deep shadow area where you will unlikely get any benefit from the bigger chunks of funding which are necessary for the development of constituencies and the state as a whole.
My final question to you, ma'am, talking about trends and histories of the state. Anti-incumbency has been very strong even in the recent past. We have seen that anti-incumbency has affected most of the ruling dispensation as well as the ruling MLAs, the current MLAs. So what are your thoughts on that?
My hunch is very simple. It has not been anti-incumbency, anti-incumbency that has been the main factor. It is the breakup of political parties that has led to those results. I don't see, say for example, hypothetically, that the Congress has failed because of an anti-incumbent factor. The Congress has not failed because of the anti-incumbent factor. After 2018, 2023, it has failed because of the breakup of the party. So my hunch is incumbency. The definition of this incumbency, at the end of the day, all political parties will be gauged as per their delivery systems. I have seen in the pattern of things, there has never been uh, any doubt about this, that even if the lead partner in the coalition doesn't do as well in the next election, it still garners more support than other parties. Say, for example, in 18, the Congress did garner more support. In fact, they were the single largest party. But because we could not keep our fold together, our opponents took the benefit and our opponents managed to pull the rug out of our feet. Unfortunate as it is, but to me, that is what happened, I think.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Yeah.
talking to us.